Welcome back. Now, President of the Jamaica Cricket Association, Dr. Donovan Bennett, says the local body is currently going through a restructuring phase, which is the reason for the departure of CEO Courtney Francis. Renarda Brown has that story.
After almost 13 years in the position of CEO of the Jamaica Cricket Association, Courtney Francis is set to depart after his role was made redundant, according to President Dr. Donovan Bennett. Bennett says the decision has been pending for a while and was taken based on financial reasons.
Our salary was almost 2/3 of our earnings for the year. Now, when you add water, electricity, and other costs to it, there was very little that was left for cricket development. And that's a situation that was not sustainable. So we had to find ways, one, of cutting costs, and two, driving up our earnings.
With the position being made redundant, what does this mean for the future of the JCA and its day-to-day operation? Well, according to Bennett, it means more work for those at the top.
We have restructured the operation of the JCA also, where persons like myself and some other senior members of the organization will have to take on the mantle of basically making the big decisions at the JCA, and of course on a non-payable basis. There'll be no remuneration for this. We just have to step up and do some more work. In the absence of a CEO, then we will have to do more monitoring, and we are prepared to do that in the interest of the game.
But why now? And will these executive members have time to carry out the mandate of the JCA?
That is something I've thought about. I have done all the introspection, and I'm prepared to give the time to get the organization back up to the level that I said before. We can afford to spend more. We'll have more available income to spend on the game.
With the absence of a CEO, a lot of the work will also now fall on the cricket operations manager.
We'll keep a close eye on what is happening. You don't want to dive in and do too much all at one time. So we will be doing a constant appraisal to see where costs can be cut. And of course, I tell you that we are also actively engaging in an effort where we can also earn more on a yearly basis.
Francis has been CEO at the JCA since 2013, when Wilford Billy Heaven became president of the association. When contacted, Francis noted that he will not comment on the matter at this time.
Meanwhile, TVJ Sports understands that the departure of Francis from the role of CEO of the Jamaica Cricket Association is set to also impact the local franchise, the Scorpions. TVJ Sports understands that Francis, who is also CEO of the Scorpions franchise, remains in that position as the entity is separate. We have been informed, however, that Francis is set to leave that role as early as next week. It's understood that he is set to meet with the Jamaica Scorpions players and management early next week to inform them of his decision to leave the CEO role with the franchise. And the next election for the Jamaica Cricket Association could be called next week. The revelation was made to TVJ Sports by JCA President Dr. Donovan Bennett. Bennett completed his 2-year tenure last month.
You were allowed 3 months after the last AGM. The last AGM was last month, which would have us going down to about July, August, right? But I really don't intend, and this is my call as a president, I really don't intend to be a beneficiary of those added 3 months. I think we were given 2 years, and I'm going to stick to that agenda.
As to a time frame for the election, delegates could find themselves at the polls within the next 30 days.
We're just waiting on the financials to be signed off on, and I suspect that will happen certainly by early next week. And as soon as I'm in a position to make a call, I will. I will. So it is not a secret that I would like to have elections before the end of May.
Now, Bennett was elected as the JCA president in April 2024 after defeating the incumbent Wilford Billy Heaven's 67 votes to Heaven's 30 votes.